Stop listening to gurus. Start building your fortress. Imagine you're given a map. It's handed to you by a charismatic, confident guide. It promises a secret path to a mountain of gold. There's only one problem. The map is a lie, and the mountain doesn't exist. The guide doesn't get rich finding the gold. He gets rich by selling you the map. They are everywhere. The gurus, the guides, they promise you a shortcut, a hidden secret, a life of endless wealth. And for a moment, it feels like they have all the answers. If you're tired of the noise and ready for the truth, hit the like button now. This video is not for them. This video is for you. Because today, we stop buying the map and we start understanding the territory. This is a video for the people who are ready to stop listening to gurus and start building a real, unbreakable fortress of wealth. The real education begins now. 1. The law of self-serving bias. The guru's first weapon. The guru is a master psychologist. They don't just sell a system. They sell an escape from your deepest fears of inadequacy. But Charlie Munger would say that the most dangerous psychological flaw they exploit is the law of self-serving bias. It is our innate, programmed tendency to attribute all success to our own brilliant abilities and all failures to cruel, external forces. The guru lives and breathes this law. When their system works perhaps by pure luck, they are a genius. They take the credit. But when it inevitably fails, the fault is never the system. The fault is always and exclusively you. He would paint a cinematic picture of a person sitting alone in the dead of night, the stale air thick with anxiety. The only light comes from a computer screen showing a devastating loss. They've just lost a month's rent on a trade the guru swore by. The guru's confident voice echoes in their head from a webinar or a podcast. The market is unpredictable, or you must have made a mistake in your execution. You lack the proper discipline. The person feels a cold knot of shame in their stomach. They don't blame the guru. They blame themselves. They believe they are not smart enough, not disciplined enough, not worthy. This is the guru's true product, not wealth but self-doubt. Because a person who doubts themselves will always come back to buy more certainty. Munger would say that a mind dependent on a guru is a mind destined to remain a slave. He would say that the guru has made a career out of being confident, not a career out of being right. The shortcut they promise is a psychological trap, a revolving door of hope and shame that leads only to financial and spiritual ruin. He would challenge you with a question that cuts to the bone. Are you following a person because they are confident, or because they have a verifiable long-term track record of being right? 2. The discipline of two-track analysis. The master's mind. The guru tells you to be a master of everything. They say you must trade every market, learn every complex option strategy, have a hot take on every stock. Munger would say this is the most dangerous advice you can ever receive, designed to overwhelm you into submission. His antidote is the discipline of two-track analysis. He would explain that a true master thinker operates on two tracks simultaneously. Track 1 is about pure, simple logic. What are the facts? What are the numbers on the balance sheet? What is the objective, measurable reality of the situation? This is where most people stop. But the master engages track 2, the messy, chaotic, and all-powerful track of human psychology. What are the emotions driving the stock price? What are the hidden incentives of the CEO? What powerful cognitive biases, fear, greed, envy are at play in the market right now? The guru wants you to ignore this second track. They want you to believe the market is a clean machine of numbers. Munger would say the market is, and always will be, a chaotic, emotional stampede of human beings. He would use a powerful analogy of a master carpenter building a masterpiece chair. The amateur carpenter is obsessed with track 1, the species of the wood, the sharpness of the saw, the angle of the joints. They are a technician, but the master carpenter thinks on two tracks. They understand the logical properties of the wood, yes, but they also feel the grain with their bare hands. They imagine the weight of the person who will sit in it. They think about the psychology of the room the chair will live in. They understand that a great chair isn't just about flawless logic. It's about how it feels to a human being. It's about emotion. He'd challenge you. When was the last time you analyzed a major life decision not just with a spreadsheet, but by mapping out the psychological forces involved? 3. The psychology of social proof as a trap, the herd's path to slaughter. The gurus are masters of social proof. They flood you with an army of testimonials, 5-star reviews, and screenshots of success stories from their private community. They create an overwhelming impression that everyone is winning with their system. Munger would say that this is not just a marketing tactic. It is a powerful and dangerous psychological weapon. He would say the instinct to follow the herd is the single greatest enemy of a rational mind. He would argue that our brains evolved for survival on the savannah, where seeing the herd run meant you should run too, no questions asked. It was a life-saving shortcut, but in the modern world of finance, that same shortcut leads directly off a cliff. When you are following the crowd, you are, by definition, operating on pure instinct, not independent thought. The guru knows this. They are not selling you a system. They are selling you the comforting, warm feeling of not being alone in your decision. But Munger would say that great opportunities are, by their very nature, lonely places. He would paint the cinematic picture of a vast, dusty plain. A herd of thousands is walking in one direction, convinced of their path, kicking up clouds of dirt that prevent them from seeing clearly. But a single person, a rational mind, stands alone on a windy hill, watching them. The herd sees only the back of the head in front of them. The person on the hill is the only one who can see that the herd is walking calmly and confidently towards a cliff edge. The guru sells you a ticket to join the herd. A true thinker seeks the lonely vantage point of the hill. He would ask you a simple, yet terrifying question. Is your current financial strategy based on your own deep analysis? Or is it based on the comforting feeling that lots of other people are doing it too? 4. The unpopular discipline of negative visualization, the ultimate insurance. The gurus are masters of positive thinking. They sell you the secret. They tell you to visualize success, to imagine your wealth, to focus only on the ways you can win. Munger would say that this is not just naive. It is a powerful and dangerous psychological trap. He would say that a true winner is a master of negative visualization. He would explain that the human brain is wired to avoid negative emotions, to run from discomfort. But the greatest thinkers in history, from the Stoics to Munger, did the opposite. They intentionally dwelled on failure. He would use a chilling cinematic example of a master strategist in a war room, the night before a major battle. The amateur general is planning the victory parade. He's focused on the attack, on glory. But the master strategist is hunched over a map, ignoring the path to victory. He is obsessed with defeat. He is tracing the escape routes, planning for the supply lines to be cut, imagining his best soldiers betraying him. He is trying to kill his own plan, to stress test it against every imaginable catastrophe. The master knows that a mind prepared for the worst is a mind that is free to act with clarity and courage when reality inevitably deviates from the plan. He would look you in the eye and say, "Are you spending your time building a plan for success, or are you forging a fortress that can withstand failure?" 5. The psychology of loss aversion as a guru's tool. The fear of missing out. The gurus are masters of urgency. Their message is always act now. They create a suffocating fear that you will miss out on the one single greatest opportunity of your lifetime if you hesitate. Munger would say that this is a powerful and dangerous psychological trap that weaponizes a glitch in our brains called loss aversion. He would explain that our brain is wired to feel the pain of a loss twice as intensely as the pleasure of an equivalent gain. The guru is a master of this. They don't sell you the dream of what you will gain. They sell you the nightmare of what you will lose if you don't act now. You'll lose your chance at freedom. You'll lose your spot in the inner circle. you'll lose your shot at being first. He would use the chilling cinematic example of a person on a train platform. Their train is about to leave. In a blind panic, they drop their carefully packed luggage, their savings, their strategy, their calm, and leap onto the moving train just to be on it. The camera then pans to the front of the train, revealing its destination is ruin. The guru sold them a ticket by making them terrified the train would leave without them, never mentioning the destination. He would ask you, look at your portfolio. What one position did you enter primarily because you were terrified of being left behind? 6. The master habit of reading obscure biographies. A downloadable mind. The gurus are constantly selling you their own stories, their book, their course, their life. They tell you to follow their journey, to learn from their mistakes, to emulate their success. Munger would say that this is a powerful and dangerous psychological trap. He would say that a true winner is a master of reading obscure biographies. He would argue that a person who learns from a single guru is a person who is downloading a single, flawed operating system. The most important thing you can do for your mind is to learn from the failures of 100 different people, from 1,000 years of history. He would paint a picture of a grand library. The guru's section is one shiny, new book under a bright spotlight. But Munger is in a dusty, forgotten wing of the library, poring over the biographies of failed emperors, disgraced generals, and bankrupt entrepreneurs. He is not there to celebrate success. He is there to perform an autopsy on failure. The guru sells you a hero's journey. A true thinker builds a mental database of 1,000 cautionary tales. He would ask you, who is the one dead person whose mistakes you will study this month to make yourself wiser? 7. The unspoken advantage of a long-term identity. The unbreakable fortress. The gurus are constantly selling you an identity. They tell you to be a day trader, a crypto genius, a real estate mogul. These identities are exciting, but fragile. Munger would say this is a powerful and dangerous psychological trap. He would say that a true winner has a long-term identity. He would argue that a person who is constantly changing their identity is a person who can never compound their knowledge. He would use the powerful analogy of a person building a fortress. The amateur, following a new guru every year, builds a wall of brick, then adds a tower of wood, then digs a moat of mud. Their fortress is a patchwork of weak, disconnected ideas. But a master architect chooses one identity. I am a patient, long-term owner of wonderful businesses and spends years, decades, laying a single, solid granite foundation. A fortress is not built on 100 different strategies. It is built on a single, solid, unshakable philosophy. The guru sells you 1,000 different costumes. A true winner forges a single suit of armor. He would look you in the eye and say, what is the one simple, long-term identity you are willing to commit to for the next 20 years? 8. The law of getting in early as a myth. The ultimate test of patience. The gurus are constantly selling you the idea of getting in early. They tell you that all the great wealth is made by being the first to invest in a new technology, a new company, a new trend. Munger would say that this is a powerful and dangerous psychological trap that preys on our impatience. He would say that a true winner understands that getting in early is a myth. He would argue that being early is often indistinguishable from being wrong. The most important thing you can do for your life is to be a master of patience. He would use the cinematic example of a lion hunting on the savannah. The amateur hunter, the guru's follower, is like a hyena, frantically chasing every small rabbit it sees, wasting energy, making noise, and usually ending up with nothing. But the master hunter, the lion, lies perfectly still in the tall grass for hours. It is the picture of inaction. It watches 10 potential meals go by, conserving its energy. It waits and waits for the one high-probability opportunity, the old, slow wildebeest that wanders too far from the herd. And only then does it act with explosive, decisive, and overwhelming force. He would ask you, are you spending your life chasing rabbits, or are you conserving your energy for the wildebeest? 9. The simple wisdom of owning good businesses. A masterpiece of art, the gurus are constantly selling you complexity. A 12-step system, a proprietary indicator, a secret algorithm. Munger would say that this complexity is a powerful and dangerous psychological trap designed to make you feel like you need them. He would say that a true winner lives by the simple wisdom of owning good businesses. He would argue that a person who is constantly chasing 100 different ideas is a person who will never master one. He would use the powerful analogy of an art collector. The amateur collector fills their house with 100 framed posters from the museum gift shop. Their walls are full, but their collection is worthless. The master collector, however, lives in a nearly empty house. They save all their capital for years, for decades, to buy one single, undisputed masterpiece, a Rembrandt. They own one thing, but that one thing holds more real, enduring value than the entire collection of the amateur. He'd leave you with this final, profound challenge. Are you building a collection of posters, or are you saving up for your Rembrandt? 10. The psychology of commitment and consistency. The guru's trap. The guru is a master of commitment and consistency. They know that if they can get you to make a small, seemingly harmless commitment like signing up for a free webinar, your brain will feel an overwhelming urge to remain consistent with that decision. They use that small commitment to get you to make a larger one, like buying a small course, and then an even larger one. Munger would say that this is one of the most powerful and insidious psychological traps. He would paint a picture of a spider web. The guru gets you to touch just one sticky thread. It seems harmless. Then you make another small move, you join the free Facebook group. Another thread sticks. Before you know it, your identity, your ego, is so entangled in the web that to escape would mean tearing a part of yourself away. It would mean admitting you were wrong. The guru didn't capture you with force. He used your own brain's desire for consistency to trap you in a web of your own making. He would ask you, what small commitment have you made that is now pulling you towards a larger, dumber one? 11. The blueprint for real wealth as a state of mind. And just like that, the noise is gone. The gurus are silenced. The wisdom he shared is now yours. This isn't just a list of ideas. It's a blueprint for a sovereign mind. It's a system designed not to make you rich overnight, but to make it almost impossible for you to become poor over a lifetime. It's a way to become the master of your own mind, to build a fortress of intellectual strength that no guru, no market crash, no recession can ever breach. It's a life of profound wisdom, clarity, and unshakable peace. But the blueprint is worthless unless you become its architect. This is not a passive experience. This is a choice, a single life-altering choice you must make now. If this conversation gave you a glimpse of the mental clarity you've been searching for, there's only one thing to do. Smash that like button right now. This isn't just a click. It's a physical act of rebellion against the noise. It's your first step toward becoming the architect of your own mind. And if you are truly serious about forging a mind of steel and building a life of profound wisdom, then subscribe immediately. This is your one-way ticket away from the herd. It's a permanent decision to join the 1% who choose to think differently. Your life will never be the same. Before you go, I want to hear from you. The war against the gurus is one decision at a time. Leave a comment below and tell me, what is the one guru's advice you are completely ignoring? Starting today, the next move is yours.